Bob Iger is not backing down, as in the recent Disney earnings call, he announced that Disneyland would be getting a brand new Avatar experience. Now, he didn't say attraction, he didn't say ride, he said experience. That's right, an Avatar experience coming to Disneyland. So in today's video, let's break down all the possibilities for this brand new experience coming soon to Disneyland. What's up, everybody? My name is Scott. You're watching Exploring Attractions, and welcome back, everybody. If you're new here, consider subscribing down below with those bell notifications on, and leave this video a like at the end if you enjoyed it. And as always, make sure to check out all of our social media pages: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, etc. You can find that all down below in the description. You know, out of all the stuff coming out of Disneyland, I never thought that they'd be planning to bring Avatar over to the theme park. And there's lots of ideas that I have brewing up in my head, and I kind of wanted to sit a little bit on this video because I wanted to brainstorm a few ideas and kind of write them down and share them all with you. So sorry, I'm going a little bit too fast. Let me back it up a little bit here. Recently, Disney had their earnings call in which Bob Iger talked about the future of the parks and the future of the company. He announced with no details whatsoever that Avatar would be coming to Disneyland in some form of immersive experience. He also let us know about different sequels to films and even some Walt Disney World news. Alright, we're all caught up to speed now. Now, when I think of the word experience, obviously, I don't think of it as an attraction or a land. Over at Disney's Animal Kingdom and Walt Disney World, they have Pandora, which is a breathtaking land filled with sights, wonder, beauty, and of course, two amazing attractions. And while yes, one is only about 2.5 minutes long, I still think that there's nothing else like them in the country. You have Flight of Passage, an amazing simulator attraction where you can fly on the back of an Ikran or Banshee, and then Navi River Journey, which is a boating ride where you see an impressive animatronic at the very end. When I first think of this, I think of Tomorrowland. And why do I say Tomorrowland? Because Tomorrowland is kind of like a skeleton right now. There's so many empty spaces there that you can put temporary experiences. Now, Iger has not confirmed that this will be a temporary or permanent experience. He also didn't share any details at all. However, he did say details will come out very, very soon. Let's talk about first the launch bay, Star Wars launch bay. That's been sitting there for a while. It's home to some meet and greets and then of course check-ins for different events and whatnot, but other than that, it does not hold anything at all. I mean, the upper deck has sat abandoned ever since Star Wars Galaxy's Edge little pop-up shop when it first opened up. This building has plenty of space, and it's actually been on the chopping block for quite a while, with fans speculating that maybe something like Tron could go there if they were to destroy Autopia and Launch Bay. But if they're going to be bringing some form of Avatar experience, then I would automatically think that Launch Bay is the perfect thing for this. Now, what could go in there? Well, I think that we could be getting something like Avatar Explore Pandora, what they have over at Shanghai Disneyland. Shanghai Disneyland currently has an Avatar experience. It's kind of like an immersive art experience. You see different animatronics / puppets. You see different things from the films, behind the scenes stuff. It's a walkthrough experience. It's really neat, and there's tons of beautiful art in there. Star Wars Launch Bay comes to my mind because this would be the perfect location for it. It is the perfect setup. They can have an upper deck, they can have a lower deck. They've also done something similar to this before with the Iron Man experience years back. Now, if they were to go the route of the Shanghai Disney experience, then they could also put this in Stage 17 over at Disney's California Adventure, the Avengers headquarters, which is just an Avengers super shop with different Marvel merchandise, kind of like an extended shop for Avengers Campus, which is just completely far away from it. So those are two different locations. I think something like Avatar Explore Pandora from Shanghai Disneyland could come over to the Disneyland Resort. One thing I also wanted to mention is the fact that Iger did not specify whether this be Disneyland Resort or just Disneyland Park in specific, because if we're talking about resort, we can even speculate on Downtown Disney. If we're talking about just Disneyland in specific, then we're looking more so at Tomorrowland. Sticking in the Tomorrowland realm, before we move on to anything else, I want to talk about Star Tours. Star Tours is an older attraction, and obviously you have Star Wars Galaxy's Edge with a simulator type ride in Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, and then you have Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. Two Star Wars attractions already. Star Tours, there's kind of no point for it anymore. It's a fun ride, they keep it updated, but what if they were to do a more scaled down version of Flight of Passage in Star Tours building. Now, obviously, the Star Tours building isn't as big, and that's why I say a scaled down version. So essentially, they use the same vehicles, just obviously have it themed to Avatar. With this, they have plenty of room in the queue to do some form of theming, maybe even put an animatronic Banshee in there so you can see that you're supposed to be flying on a Banshee when in reality you'd be flying in a giant cabin. Or maybe the ship slash cabin is flying the same route as the Banshee and you're going on this journey together, something like that. Now, I do think that this is one of the more least likely options for an Avatar experience at Disneyland because, like we say before, we go back to that experience word, not ride, not attraction. I just thought it'd be fun to speculate on something like that in Tomorrowland. Those are the two things I can think of right off the bat for Disneyland, both in Star Wars Launch Bay and replacing Star Tours. I don't really know of anything else in Tomorrowland in specific. Those are just the things off the top of my head. But if we want to talk a little bit about the Disneyland Resort as a whole, we can talk about Disney's California Adventure because it seems like they're just cramming more and more IPs into California Adventure as the years go on. And actually, if you throw it back to the big old announcement that got everybody excited that most likely will still happen years from now, Disneyland Forward, you can visit their website right now, and it says Disneyland California Adventure could be home to some of Disney's most technologically advanced, immersive, and cutting-edge entertainment, taking cues from these exciting lands and attractions around the globe for inspiration. And Zootopia is listed on there, Toy Story Land, and Tron Light Cycle Run. So if we're talking about California Adventure and Disneyland already having plans to kind of bring those attractions and lands to life in that park, why not talk about Pandora? Now, I don't think that Bob Iger would share or, even mention something Avatar related if they're planning on bringing Pandora over to the Disneyland Resort. I'm just saying the what ifs. You have Hollywoodland right there that's actually kind of pointless other than for the Hyperion Theater, which they have put out auditions for. We don't know if those auditions are going to be temporary or for a permanent show. It's seeming more like a temporary show since they haven't really spruced up that theater, nor have they touched it since Frozen. But Hollywoodland would be the perfect space and the perfect area for something to scale of Avatar's Pandora Land. Like I said before, Pandora Animal Kingdom is breathtaking, it's amazing, and honestly, I would not mind it coming to the West Coast whatsoever, but that's just wishful thinking. I don't think that'll happen at all, but that's just one of my ideas. Lastly, we can talk about something that's actually pretty impressive, which is the Avatar experience in Singapore. Now, when I look at the Avatar experience, it looks similar to what we actually just did on the channel, which is the Jurassic World exhibition. You have these different puppets slash animatronics that you walk to and you see them all like moving around. You see them doing little different show scenes and whatnot. Super impressive. I mean, the T-Rex scene at the very end was worth the price alone, but actually in this experience they have a full-scale Banshee that moves super fluid and would be something really neat to see in the theme parks. I mean, even if they added something like this to the queue of the already existing Animal Kingdom land, I think Disney fans would go nuts for it. The Gardens by the Bay Singapore experience is something I would love to see at the parks. Where they have room for this, who knows? Maybe even in downtown Disney if they were going that resort way, but I don't think that there's any room for something this scale other than Hollywoodland, but this seems to be more of like a temporary experience, so why would they gut out Hollywoodland to bring this over? You can have like a more scaled down version in abandoned places like Star Wars Launch Bay or maybe even the Fantasyland Theater, which is just home to the Lion King show right now. Other than that, there's really no room on the left side of Disneyland. You got Adventureland, which is super small, New Orleans Square, which is currently undergoing a transformation to all the Princess and the Frog stuff, and then of course you have Frontierland, which could not hold any form of Avatar experience because it wouldn't fit the theme at all. Still, this is just another idea, and it also has the word experience in it. Avatar, the experience. Now, of course, while I say this is wishful thinking and while I say there's just bogus ideas that I'm putting out, if we go back to Disneyland Forward, once again, I want to point out one little section of the paragraph on the first page. We want to bring more Disney investment to Anaheim. However, this simply isn't possible under current inflexible planning restrictions unless we remove and replace treasured rides and attractions in our parks today. And that means that Disneyland is essentially already ready ready to destroy older stuff to bring in new experiences like Avatar. This is why I think that if Disney were to announce, hey, we're destroying Hollywoodland and we're going to bring something super immersive like Tron, like Toy Story, like Zootopia, or maybe even now Avatar, I would not be shocked by it because they warned us a few years ago. But as far as Avatar, the experience goes, whatever it may be, those are my best guesses right now and my best speculations for Disneyland. So a boundless future awaits us for the Disney parks and especially Disneyland. But I want to know down below in the comments section what you guys think this Avatar experience could be coming to the Disneyland Resort. Do you think it's as big as everyone's making it, or do you think it's going to be something a lot smaller? Let us know down below. But as for today's video, that's going to do it. My name is Scott, and you've been watching Exploring Attractions. If you're new here, guys, please subscribe down below with those bell notifications on so you never miss a video like the one that you're watching right now. And if you did enjoy it, make sure to leave us a like because it helps us out a whole lot. Positivity is key. And most importantly, remember to keep exploring. Peace out, everybody.